Domain name versus hosting. The hell's the difference between these two anyways? I get this question asked all the time. Do I need to pay for hosting? I already have the domain name. Or where do I get hosting? Where do I get the domain name? Do I have to buy them at the same place? How do I transfer them? Do I need to transfer them? I get all these sorts of questions asked all the time. So I want to break it down pretty simple right here. A lot of my clients are contractors, home service professionals, real estate investors, so on and so forth. So I'm going to try and use an analogy that really hits home here. All right. When we say website, it's really like an overloaded term. The website itself, just the website, is really just a collection of files. That's all a website is. I like to think of it like the actual house, right? The walls and the paint color, the siding, the roof, the windows, doors, all the other things that like structurally make up the physical house is kind of like the website itself. The website is just a collection of files. You have a home page and an about page, CSS files, which make up like the styles and colors and what fonts you use and everything else. All these different things, all these different collection of files is really just what the website itself is. Kind of think of it like a manufactured home, right? They build the home somewhere else, and then a moving truck puts it on their bed and moves it over to a physical property location, right? Some land. And that land aspect of it, that land idea, is kind of like what the server is, right? You need to host your website somewhere. All these different files need some global computer to live on. And that's sort of like what your server is, your hosting is, right? So kind of like how you need to pay for your property taxes for the property land that you own, you also need to pay for hosting your website. You need to rent some physical server space for your website files to live at. And then kind of like the actual land is given a parcel ID, some abstract number that humans aren't really going to memorize, right? That's why a lot of parcel IDs are given a property address, like 123 Main Street. And again, that's like your domain name. That is your website address, www.mycompany.com, right? That domain name is pointing to a very specific IP address on the server, which hosts the website files. All right, so let me try and break it down again, sort of reiterate in a different way here. Again, when we say website, there's really three main components that we are dealing with. There's the domain name that you are renting from like GoDaddy or Namecheap or wherever. Quick tip, I would recommend not using GoDaddy. They're a little bit more expensive. I prefer Namecheap myself, but there's plenty of other places, registrars, that you can register your domain name from cheaper than GoDaddy. But yeah, you have the domain name. You have the actual website, all of, collection of files like the about page and home page and everything else, all these files together that make up the website. And then you need some place for those files to live at. And that's, like a computer to host these files. That is the server, the hosting that you need to rent and pay for as well. So then one more diagram to sort of really see how they all tie in together. Again, you have this server, which is like given some IP address, kind of like property land, which is given a parcel ID. On the property, you install a house. Kind of like on the server, you install a collection of files. And then you also want a nice and easy to remember street address, like 123 Main Street, or you want a nice and easy to remember website address or domain name. So you need to tell the domain name, hey, my actual physical location of my website, the server is hosted at this IP address right here. And you'll find that from the server wherever else. And then the server is going to know that it's going to be listening for this domain name so it can serve up these website files that it is hosting. So that sort of explains it hopefully a little bit better and sort of reiterates that yes, you do need the domain, you do need the hosting, and we need to make sure we connect these all together. That way when someone goes to www.mycoolcompany.com, your server knows how to serve up the website files that it is hosting on the website address that the user is looking for. If you found this valuable, please give it a thumbs up. Please drop a comment down below if you are looking for some website development yourself. If you have a contracting or real estate investing business and you want help getting seen, getting more leads, you want some help with SEO, feel free to contact me. I run a web design and marketing agency called Airwing Webworks. Feel free to check my website, airwingwebworks.com. Drop a comment down below. Feel free to DM me or reach out in any way you can. Until next time, see y'all later.